Hey guys, what's up? All right. I've been through a lot of things. A lot of it may surprise you. Been homeless, numerous places. Like these people want to keep you moving and stuff. Well, you'll see the cracks. Where the problems are, where people aren't getting help. I mean, I was in bad shape when I went out to the wilderness, if you will. Um, Heat stroke, dizzy, dealing with being like confused and everything, which that's heat stroke, and it's really bad when it's at that stage. Um, do you realize what these people are dealing with that have been on the street? Okay, what may have happened? Especially for the women because they want them out there so they can do whatever they want to them, right? Anyone that's disabled, same thing. And people can be disabled without you even realizing it. They may not look disabled. They may have been through so much pain that they've just learned how to have, to walk because there's no one to help. Do you know what that's like? Um, I'm looking for people that care about this. I mean, like they may have pets. They don't have food for the pets. They don't have like you know, toothpaste or toilet paper or food or, a place to stay dry, a place to stay warm, a place to stay cool. Um, these hotels, I mean, it helps, but I mean, I'm at a hotel that, between this hotel and the one I was at before, they literally worked together to keep me from having a cart so I could bring my things in. Because it's like they want you to lose everything. Why would you want that? That don't make any sense. Why be hateful? And then they don't even want to clean the room. And I'm sure that this is like how, wickedness works. We're going to not clean your room, and we're going to say it's a policy, even though I already got the policy before they said that. Okay, so they clean the room once a week, and I asked for it, right? And then they refused, said that they were going to come and do it, and didn't. Okay, not only that, they said, well, you need to, do this with your pet, and let's see, what else was it? And then, you got to be out of the room. We're not allowed to touch your stuff. Da 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 da. Well, the point of me wanting to be in the room is to move it so you can get it good and clean. If you want to take care of your hotel, you would want to do that. And if a person has things, they just move it out the way. It's like people acting really weird, scared. I don't know. It does come across as someone that's scared. Um, but do people not know how to work together? It doesn't make any sense. You want to be afraid of people that are homeless, or maybe you're dealing with someone that's been homeless somewhat a little bit, not like full on homeless for a long time. But why would you be mean to them? There's something really wrong about that. You don't know their story. You don't know what they may have been through. And there are people that are actually, fighting and wanting to help these people, but everyone's got to choose to want to get out of the situation they're in, and they're looking for it, but they don't know where to find that help. You've got to turn to God, okay, and pray. But it also takes God's people coming together, God's true people, not, the fake demiurge God, okay, the people that are waking up and realizing things. And there's a lot of these church organizations that are bad. That doesn't mean the people are bad that are going there and doing this and doing this. You're dealing with some people at the very top that are shysters and looking for a way to have everyone do the work for them while they just sit there and take all this money in. Okay? But they do things to put the people that go to their churches and stuff like that asleep, so they're not aware of what's going on. That's why you got to look at things much further, right? So I'm definitely looking for people that want to uh, help these people out of this situation, and a way to bring this to the forefront. Okay, why do we have these, oligarchs that are holding on to everything and hoarding it, and they don't let anyone else have it? But oh wait, they had to steal it to get it. Okay? I've been stolen from. Other people have been stolen from. Well, that's enough of that. It's about time to change everything and stop supporting these people and their systems. Um, I mean, you can look at these words and where they come from, you know. Was it all roads lead to Rome? Y'all, y'all, it's just sick. It's really sick. But it's hard when you don't have things that you need and people want to treat you like you're lower than them, and it's no one's above another. But it, you know, when you're doing wicked things, you're doing wicked things, and it's like you don't want to point it out. But if they don't point it out, are you going to get right, or are you just going to keep going down straight to hell? You know, which way do you want to go? You know, make up your mind. You know, you have to choose yourself to put that oxygen mask on. If you're, you know, you're in an airplane, you know they drop down, and you have people that are, you know, gonna freak out. Narcissists is gonna try to take every oxygen mask they can, not let anyone have it, and then be, give me all your money, give me what I want, give me sex, give me this, give me that, give me all your food, and then I'll control it. That's your typical narcissist, okay? They want to take everything from everyone and control everything, and they're, you know, not realizing they've been taken over and possessed, right? Wouldn't it be wonderful to help people out that have not had anything, lift them up? And I'm talking about people that, you know, they do have this ability. They're not, you know, putting themselves out in the street. But we've got to stand up to this. These rent increases, you know, these landlords. I mean, you know, notice they have Lord in that. They word things a certain way. If you have all these people that are stealing all this money from everyone, it's time for us all to stand together and not let them do this anymore. No matter what someone is, isn't, whatever. You hear what I'm saying? There are people that have never received love. They've never had someone really help them because of love. And a lot of people are shocked by that. Surprised that that's there, that it exists. What kind of world do you want? You know, really, truly be that change that you want to see everywhere. If we all stand together over these, you know, wealthy oligarchs that think they have it all. And there's people that are wealthy that are not like that, so don't get me wrong, okay? But if we stand together and help the little people down at the bottom, okay, and lift them up and get them to where they're not all in the street. I mean, do you not understand what everyone that stands together and does this, will they not be blessed? Are you hearing me? There is a way to have abundance, right? And if good men and women, anyone, y'all, if we, you know, do nothing and evil just, woohoo, we're just going to party it down and let them have it all because you're afraid or whatever, well, don't be afraid. There's people around that, like myself, they're like-minded, that are not afraid of these fuckers, right? It's time to stand up to this game and put a stop to it. If we can help people out, I mean, there are people all around here that I have seen, and, you know, while I was homeless, they were homeless, and seeing it, and that's something I notice regardless, even if they don't think I do, but I do. Would you want to be out on the street in the rain, cold, freezing, because, you know, you got wet, and your clothes are wet, everything's wet, then you got to dry it all out. I mean, and then you want to sit there and persecute them because they may be on drugs or alcohol or whatever. No, I mean, you persecute the ones that are trying to human traffic. That are trying to put people on, not persecute, but, you know, speak truth to them, right? That you don't do this. Because I had people that were trying to do that. They were trying to get me to, you know, partake in something I would never partake in, ever. I mean, it's, no. But it's because they want to, you know, put someone to where they're addicted to something and will do anything to get it. But I'm not that kind of person. They don't seem to get that. You know, I've been through some bad shit in my life where I have died and died and died and died because these people were, I've been fed every kind of poison that's out there. Okay, that's been their game. I don't think that there is a poison they haven't used. Um, you can transmute it, but when I say, like I said previously, that you can pray to learn how to transmute it, but you may be going through a whole lot to learn how to do that. Why don't we start first with organizing, getting together, and helping these people without, embarrassing them, right? But helping them. You know what I mean? We can all get together in some form or some fashion and start something and, use things and tools to get, the words out there that they pray, because it's, when you pray, what is it? It says, I will hear them and I will heal their land. Well, do you think that means that we just all sit there and do nothing? I mean, if you help people and you help them get on their feet and they receive love and they can see that, hey, things are actually going to be all right, you don't know what that does to someone to have that stripped away. It's truly damaging. It's, complex PTSD, and what if they're dealing with heat stroke? Oh my God, that's some shit to go through. And to want someone to go through it because they won't do what you want them to do, that's really, why would you want to be that way? I don't get it. Who wants to be a part of actually helping these people? Not this bullshit of, we're going to pretend we're going to help people and then we ain't going to do it. No, that's some karma. I'm talking bad karma. You're asking for it, You don't manifest that way. You have to have, your heart fully engaged, or else you're just a clanging cymbal. You realize? But somewhere that these people can go to learn, what they can do to help themselves, right? There's a way. But we need, put our heads together and talk about this and get things done, and of course come up with, the funds for it. This is important. If it's people that are on drugs and they're having problems, then you may have to be that there's some people that get them the supplies that they need until they're able to get past it, because they're going to have to get off the drugs so that they stop the behavior, all right? And plus, there's an issue with trusting them until they're, fully off the drugs and their brain is back to, like normal and stuff. They have to deal with getting those toxins out, just like a person that's been poisoned has to learn how to, get all those toxins out of their body and is able to think clearly, okay? But yeah, I'm looking for people that are interested in this, and I don't give a damn rat's ass if you have money, lots of money, or you have a little bit, whatever. Even, subscribe, like, share, and all that kind of stuff. And if you watch, like, say you don't have money, but you can watch, and you watch the ads, you just let them, you don't have to watch them, but just let them play through when, when, say, like, for instance, I get monetized, and then there's ads, like that, but also others, okay? You can help so many people, and if we help other people to have more, money and abundance, and we can all work together to do this, are you, seeing how we can turn the tide, turn everything away from these people that think that they're going to always have the control, always have the money. You can really research about all these families, and not everyone is the way you think. There's been a seed of the opposite in every family, because that's what they do. They do the Cabbage Patch Kids and all this stuff. It's, you're going to have to realize that that's there. If you have discernment, you can see who's real and who's not, who's, just faking bullshit, right? But it helps to be lighthearted and have some fun when we can, but there's times to talk very serious, right? Now I've been uploading to another social media, make sure you cross your T's, ik-ok. Wonder what I'm saying there. That's got to be hard code, y'all. But the minute I upload, it's like they take it down, and it's not everything, it's just what they're afraid of. I did like a goofy song, and that's like part one, and then I did have a part three because it cut off. So if you're on that social media site and you're hearing this, we'll go to YouTube and watch Expect the Unexpected. Yeah, it's not wise to do that because you have to be aware of what you're doing, that you're manifesting. You're attacking this person, well, you're manifesting that right back to you. It's literally do as you would be done by. So if you're treating someone in a bad way, it's going to come back to you. Like the Supreme Court, they don't want to put that abortion pill out there because they're manifesting that for their own kids. Don't do that. Okay? This is like telling people something so that bad things don't happen. It's trying to make them aware of what they're doing. Don't let someone pressure you, oh, they're going to do this or do that to you. Well, have you ever read Psalms 91? Start reading it out loud, okay? And no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Mantras, you need to say these things, all right? Even if you don't know everything you need to know, well, you'll get there. You'll learn. But we need to help other people to get there and learn too. These people that are, not doing well. I'm not talking about the, ones that are able-bodied and trying to, able-bodied to, an extent, because I even had one of them that was disabled, had an amputee, with a prosthetic foot, trying to get me on some kind of, drug, you want to smoke? What are you talking about? It wasn't really making sense, Well, apparently it was something like hard drugs or something. Hell fucking no, I don't. Go away. Like, just didn't seem to get it. No means no. And I ain't playing. Like, that's no. These people ain't right in the head. But you need to, gotta take care of the ones that want help and want to change their life, that they're looking for it, not just, gonna run away from it, right? And that they literally want to find out about God, that God is very real, okay? But God works through his people, right? So, but yeah, I'm looking for people that want to really do something. That's what these oligarchs, they're so afraid of it. Well, let's help bring their fears together, right? Because they need to get over it. It's they're manifesting it and don't even see it. They don't realize that they're manifesting it. They don't have the right to hoard all this money, and it's not even theirs. Take it all and keep it. Hoard land, hoard this, hoard that. You don't have that right. To have a law system that is backwards. They're not doing the right thing. You're going to go arrest people just because you feel like it. Well, you can't do that. Do you not understand what judgment is, and that it comes for you whether you think you're in the right or not? Well, this law says that's a man's law. It's not God's law. Really go look back at the 42 laws of Ma'at. You need to look at these things. Look at, even the 10 Commandments, but you need to understand them the way that they were meant. Thou shalt not kill means you don't kill people, animal, anything with a soul. And I'm sorry, but the demiurge having, these labs or whatever, create mosquitoes and fleas and fruit flies and all this stuff to, screw with everyone, and roaches and all that. Those are parasites. You need to understand the difference between parasites and non-parasites, okay? And if you eat meat, you're probably dealing with parasites in your body. So, just letting you know. But it does, how are you going to have gut intuition if that's what's going on? So, something to think about. And gee, wasn't it in scripture about Daniel? Where did he go? To the palace, and him and his people ate, fruits and vegetables, and they outperformed everyone. You see? Don't forget that. Okay? All right, y'all. If you want to be healthy and all this stuff, look, I had worked I'd always worked like my whole life, but I had worked out, you know what I mean? Um, like really worked out. I was gaining weight, and I was working out. I was like finally gaining weight, right? And I had built up all this muscle, and I got to where apparently I was thick. I just didn't know it because I didn't have like a mirror. But I had muscle, right? Muscle weighs more than fat. And then it's like these people are doing everything they can. It was like the stepsisters from Cinderella doing everything they can to take it away. They're nuts. But, I'll get it right back. But I'd probably fit a 000 pants, but I don't think I want to wear something that's small or clean. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, there's not much to me now, and I'm tall. I'm not short. You know, I'm like 5'9", 5'10". I was actually probably 5'10", 5'11". Who knows? Because of the back. My back's broken in two places. I have floating vertebrae, amongst other issues. So it's dangerous for some people to be out there homeless, and I'm one of them. Not just necessarily other people, but because of heat stroke, because of disabilities, and the other people see me walk around, they may not even realize it. You see, but there's people out there that are going through this. We need to take care of the ones that are vulnerable first, and that might help the other ones to catch their snap and realize, if you're doing human trafficking, that's the fucking biggest no-no ever in the world. You can't do that. If you're attacking people because they're homeless or you feel some type of way when they're around, well, that says something about you. That's saying that you've got something on you need to deal with. You don't do that. You don't not clean someone's room or not help them out or keep them from having this, that, the other because you're feeling some type of way. That's a big no. All right, y'all. I want to watch the time on this thing before I have issues and have a bunch of different cutoff points. So, see how you feel about this and who all you know that would be interested in changing the world, because it's time. It's called, flipping the tables, as it were, right? So it's time to flip the bloody tables and change the whole entire script of what has been into something brand new, a brand new world that changes it all. Wouldn't that be awesome? Don't sit there and think that can't happen. Believe that it can. All right, y'all. God bless.